All right, greetings viewers. It is August 3rd, 2024. We are in the final couple of months here of the 2024 election, right? Donald Trump he's in. He will be on the ballot for 2024. Kamala Harris now, the presumptive Democrat nominee. The coronation should be in a couple of weeks here at the DNC, so we will stay tuned for that. Thanks for checking in on this video. I have a pretty good article I want to bring to you now. I got this off of Breitbart. This is titled, Kamala Harris wanted to ban plastic straws in 2020. We are exposing Kamala Harris. We're exposing her for who she is. She is a radical, far-left Democrat over near Bernie Sanders, AOC, and those kind of people. She is not near Joe Manchin, formerly a Democrat. He switched parties, of course, recently. We know about that. That's fine. But lifelong, he was a Democrat, Joe Manchin. But now, he's done his own thing. Kamala Harris is nowhere near Joe Manchin ideologically. It's challenging these days to think of moderate or somewhat conservative Democrats, but I'm sure they're out there. Hard to say, to be honest, these days, because they just keep going further and further to the left. Let's take a look at this article. This is by, let's give credit to who put the work in. This is Wendell Husebo. It's from August 1st, 2024. I'll put the link down below so you can check out all the hyperlinks he has to the exact citations and references, right? You can go on your own. None of this is made up. None of this is fiction or hyperbole. Let's get into the article. I think we should ban plastic straws. Vice President Kamala Harris said in her 2020 presidential campaign, that was 2020, she later said, quote, "Yes, I am a radical." She said that at a Google event in 2010. During a CNN town hall, when asked, Do you ban plastic straws? Harris replied, "I think we should, yes." Harris has yet to flip-flop in 2024 about plastic straws being banned, although the article says that she is backpedaling on other issues. She no longer supports a federal job guarantee. I don't know what that means, a federal job guarantee. For who or whom? I don't know what that is. That's an anonymous Harris campaign spokesperson. Anonymous campaign official told the New York Times that she now supports, which means that she didn't before, I guess. She now supports fracking, wants to increase funding for the border, does not want to require people to sell their assault weapons back to the government, and no longer supports a single-payer health insurance program, which is Bernie Sanders, far left, probably AOC as well. Here we go. This is the list. Harris has radical policies, which include, we have 17, so buckle up. She endorsed some form of reparations, 1. 2, co-sponsored legislation to protect illegal immigrants from deportation. Of course, typical California Democrat. Of course, they're not going to support going back to the country you're from if you came here illegally, right? Back Bernie Sanders' Medicare for All legislation. 4, back banning private health insurance. Now, wait a minute. We got this guy, Barack Obama, who has the Obamacare plan, Affordable Care Act. So are you telling me that she doesn't like Barack Obama's healthcare policy and plan? I sense a little division there. Supported giving taxpayer-funded coverage to illegal immigrants. That's about healthcare again. 6, supported banning fracking. Of course, it's like the radical Green New Deal, those kind of things like that. Back defunding the police. Oh yeah, of course, after the whole 2020 George Floyd, all the Democrat politicians went out there to placate and bow down to them. 8, compared ICE to the KKK. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, she really got called out. I remember that time. 9, wanted to ban plastic straws. Yep, I already mentioned that. Defended banning offshore drilling. Another typical California Democrat policy to take. Yeah. 11, wanted to undo the Trump administration's border security, taking 94 executive actions in their first 100 days to rescind nearly every Trump-era measure. So this has to do with the whole asylum process during the beer bug, how you are supposed to be waiting outside the U.S. and this whole big thing with the Biden administration where they ended that policy, and now that's where all the asylum seekers started coming into the country. Oh, I'm here for asylum. Oh, really? Right. 12, supported decriminalizing illegal border crossings. Yep, she's from California, of course, yeah. You know, half the world can come here, no problem. Let's have 3 billion people come and live inside America, no problem. 13, said she wouldn't treat illegal aliens as criminals. Yep, once again, that's another border state Democrat issue there. 14, called for starting ICE from scratch. That's kind of strange. 15, you would think maybe more her whole policy would be to eliminate ICE, right? 15, argued that temporarily closing the border violated federal law. 16, raised money for the Minnesota Freedom Fund. Oh, I remember this. A far-left organization that pays to bail out jail violent criminals, including accused murderers and rapists. Nah. Okay, I specifically remember what this was in 2020. There was all the arsonists that were going on, and what's the other word? They were going around like busting out windows and car dealerships, and that was over in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And in this, the Freedom Fund, that was there where, yeah, so essentially the same thing. Remember they burned down that police station in Minnesota where, I guess that's where the police officers and the whole George Floyd thing happened. That's where they were from, that police department, and then they burned it down. And of course they burned down businesses and all this other stuff like that. So it's arsonists, they want to bail out arsonists, violent property damagers, and whatever else they did out there. Of course they were out there covering their face and doing all this stuff like this. I remember that very well 4 years ago. 17, supported Los Angeles cuts to their police department. Yep, I remember that. Yep, that was all the demands from BLM that went on. All of them in all the big Democrat cities, they went out there and did that. And now what? 4 years later, oh, well, we're understaffed. Carjacking? Oh, sure, we'll get there. And it's like, 90 minutes, 2 hours later, maybe they'll show up. Otherwise, it's all just file something online. It's not important. We're understaffed. We can't deal with it, right? So they created the crisis of being understaffed. Democrat politicians did that. Oh, actually, there's 20. I didn't see the other side. 18, called efforts to add more police to the streets wrong-headed thinking. Yeah, and it's so funny about the funding of the police thing, because we had Mayor Karen Bass. I remember there were people who went up into her home, and I believe they stole a gun out of her house. And they called adding more police to the streets wrong-headed thinking. She would call a police officer to come to the house to do the police report. and to just get all the information for that crime. I just point that out as one example, and then there's other examples where there was a Democrat Congress member, or as a congressional aide, I believe it was a congressional aide. She was walking around Washington D.C. and had a whole packet of papers or briefcase or whatever it was. A gang member comes out, jumps out of a car, puts a gun in her face, steals all of it, steals her purse, everything, gone. It's all because of the Democrats. It's kind of interesting that they get a taste of their own medicine when they have these policies and they backfire and it hits them. 19, champion the administration's so-called Bidenomics as costs dramatically soared for American families. I guess that would be the different Inflation Reduction Act, the so-called Inflation Reduction Act, things like that. And then 20, bragged about being a leader in the push to get rid of the cash bail system in America. Ooh, that's, I want to make a whole separate video on that. That is why crime is so out of control now in like Oakland, Los Angeles, San Francisco, these other Democrat big cities, because they have gotten rid of this on purpose. Oh, New York's another one with Alvin Bragg. Somebody goes there, they does a robbery, violent crime. Oh, well, oh, they're poor. They shouldn't have to pay for the cash bail and all this, and they shouldn't have to put the money up. Well, you're a threat to society. We can't risk you being out on the streets. So, get the word out in the skies. Kamala Harris is a far left radical Democrat. The media are really trying to put a glaze and a gloss, a shine on her and her record to get her in. They hate President Trump. They hate all his accomplishments, everything he did. Typical, mainstream media, lying liberal media. But got a good feeling. Think she's going to be exposed. And, we just got to stay tuned. I believe tomorrow, or this weekend, tomorrow or Sunday, she may be picking her VP candidate. We'll see who that is. They're going to try to pick somebody to make her not seem as radical. So we'll see how that goes. Please like the video, subscribe, comment down below, share, and stay tuned out there. What's going on, guys? Thanks for watching.